Alright, guys, so not too long ago I talked about which which Warhammer Fantasy characters would get lantern rings. Well, finally, I'm going to be doing the Warhammer Fantasy variant of that. And this one's actually way harder, because some of these some characters just wouldn't get these rings. I really also had to stretch my train of logic to pick which characters would get them. And I know some Warhammer Fantasy fans out there, major Warhammer Fantasy fans, would probably look at these and go, no, you should have picked this character or this character, and that's fine. There's a shit ton of Warhammer Fantasy characters out there that could easily, be part of the, that can be getting these rings, sorry. Anyway, so this is just my personal list. If you guys think, if you think a character should be on this list, that's totally fine. I'm always excited to hear what you guys have to come up with. This is just my personal opinion, and I'm always excited to hear what you guys have to say. Anyway, so let's get started with the video. So, first off, who gets the Green Lantern ring? There are a lot of characters that I think could easily get the Green Lantern ring. But I actually decided to go with Felix Jaeger. I was originally going to go with Teclis, but I thought, but actually, the more I think about it, Felix from Gotrek and Felix actually embodies everything you need for a Green Lantern. A guy overcoming great fear in his heart and also defending those he cares about. Felix started out as a guy who was just more like, holy shit, I'm terrified, I don't know what I'm doing. And then he's now evolved into a more, competent warrior. He's grown into a leader of men at some points. So, yeah, the more I thought about it, I was like, yeah, Felix would totally work as a Green Lantern. I was like, why didn't I think of that sooner? So, yeah, I think out of any character in the Warhammer universe that should get a Green Lantern ring, it's Felix Jaeger. Anyway, moving on now to the Blue Lantern. The Blue Lantern was also another hard one, because there are a lot of characters that inspire hope. But there's one character I think that would get that deserves the Blue Lantern ring above all others. And that is Karl freaking Franz. Now, why did I pick Karl as the Blue Lantern and not the Green Lantern? Because Karl inspires hope in the Empire. In the Empire of Man, Karl Franz has stood firm against the forces of darkness time and time again. He has also not only inspired hope in his own people, but also the other races. I mean, the dude literally, had a call to arms to bring all the other factions of Kislev, the Elven kingdoms, and the Dwarf kingdoms together to fight chaos one last time during the end times. It didn't work, but still, the thought's there. But yeah, Karl Franz was Karl Franz is the definition of a Blue Lantern. Also, I could just see him creating this massive construct of Gallimaraz and just wiping the floor with chaos and other forces left and right. Now we come to a little more difficult one, the Star Sapphire. The Star Sapphires, of course, represent love. And there isn't a lot of love in the world of Warhammer. I think we can all agree that whether it be 40k or fantasy, there isn't a lot of love to go on. But this character, I think, really kind of embodies that kind of love for a character. And that is Ulrika. Ulrika is, again, another character from the Gotrek and Felix novels, who was a ice sorceress in Kislev. She also fell deeply in love with Felix, and Felix fell in love with her. Although they did have a bit of a falling out when she got turned into a vampire. Spoilers. But yeah, she still feels a lot of love for Felix, and it's through that love that I think would get her a Star Sapphire ring. Because, again, it has to be great love for someone. And yeah, Ulrika, even being undead, still feels a lot of love for Felix. So, definitely. Yeah, and yes, I haven't, because I did write it down. Anyway, so there's our Star Sapphire. Next up is the one I really had to stretch at, because again, the Indigo Ring. Now, the Indigo Ring, or the Indigo Tribe itself, is based more on compassion. But not compassion towards others, it's compassion given to you. They're usually the most horrible people out there that are now given compassion by someone, and now a compassion ring goes to them. and I chose Malekith. The reason why I chose Malekith was because even the gods showed him compassion after, you know, the horrible shit he did, but they all saw it was like, oh, it's like a reason. I know it's not a good one. I was like, but the problem is that compassion to your enemies is kind of a weakness to most of the other characters. So, and no one has really turned a leaf with it. Hell, I don't even think Malekith would, even if he was given the being part of the Indigo tribe, he would get any different. But again, that was kind of the one I'm like, someone could probably think of someone better. Now we come to the Red Lantern ring, and I know what you're thinking. Oh yeah, this is Grimgor Ironhide, right? Wrong. The way you get a Red Lantern ring is not through, I'm angry, is your rage must be righteous. You must have a kind of rage inside of you that can be viewed as righteous fury, like you were wronged, or something like that. You were wronged, or want revenge, or you're looking for a righteous cause, and it's driven you to anger. And no better person can fill that role than Gotrek motherfucking Gurnison. Yeah, Gotrek would totally be a Red Lantern ring because the dude is the definition of too angry to die. He literally fell into the realm of chaos and ended up in the Age of Sigmar because he killed his way out of the old world and into the Age of Sigmar. Think on that. So yeah, Red Lantern Gotrek, 100%. Next up is Orange, and trust me, there are a lot of characters who could get the Orange Ring of Avarice, but it had to go to a Skaven. That was my thought process, was it has to go to a Skaven. And there's no one better who can be the most Skaven to ever Skaven, Lord Thanquol. Lord Thanquol is the embodiment of what the Skaven are and what they're capable of. He's the embodiment of greed and avarice. So, Thanquol would totally get the Orange Lantern ring out of any Skaven. Yeah. Next up is the Yellow Lantern. And again, there's so many characters that inspire great fear. But there's one that comes to mind, and that's Archaon the Ever-Chosen. The Three-Eyed King. This dude is the embodiment. Hell, he killed the old world through being the champion of chaos. So I can think of no one who instills more fear than Archaon. That was probably the easiest one. Now, normally I don't do the White and Black Lantern rings, but this time I will, because we have gods for that. The Black Lantern ring goes to Nagash, who could easily fill the role of Necron, and then you have the White Lantern ring, which is representation of life, and that would go to Sigmar, because again, he brought new life through the Age of Sigmar from the ashes of the old world. So there you go, guys. That is pretty much my picks for Warhammer Fantasy characters who would get lantern rings. But you guys tell me in the comments below, who do you think would get rings? Just comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.